Tom, how are you? Tom, can you hear me?
I think you're on mute, Coach.
Sorry. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry. Yep, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I want to ask you, I guess, looking at the minutes for your guys, the last game, looked like some of them logged more than maybe usual, and it paid off obviously with a win. Is that a feel for how things are going, or do you hope to be able to play your best players for longer?
Well, it's a feel. It's based on how the game is going, and we had good momentum, and we had good chemistry on the floor, and we were making shots, and we were making defensive stops. So I'd like to keep the bench and keep our depth strong, but in that situation, it's just a feel, and we're reading the game the best that we can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, your shooting numbers were through the roof at Ole Miss, and that runs a little bit counter to what you've done all year. Though your shooting numbers have improved in SEC play. I'm just wondering, where do you think the truth lies? Somewhere between what you guys were able to do at Ole Miss, and just how important is that? Just shooting at a high percentage or a better percentage.
Well, it's extremely important, and I think it's a combination of getting better looks. I think KD being in there certainly helps us. And we made 12 threes at LSU. The ball move, when we're getting really good ball movement, but most importantly, we're getting good cutting. When we're getting cutting that are purposeful scoring cuts, when we're reversing the ball, when we're ready to shoot, like Severe had 2 threes that were catch and shoots, and he was both ready to shoot, right? We're not a big off the dribble 3-point shooting team. I'm not looking for a lot of guys to shoot corner threes. What we're looking is to get through the ball through the paint and get it reversed out. And when we do that, when we've got a good combination of cutting going with spacing, it creates a lot of open looks, and then we just have to knock them down. So I think KD certainly adds to it. There's no doubt about that.
All right, let's have Anthony Dasher and then Augustus Stone.
Coach, I was going to get you to elaborate a little bit on KD and kind of what he's doing to help get those open looks for other guys.
Well, he's a really good player. He moves without the ball. He can drive to the rim. He can shoot the ball. He's strong. He's a very aggressive driver. You have to guard him. And at times we have guys on the court that the defense determines that they really don't want to guard that much. And so then you have to be in a really good situation like Ty Fagan was the other day when they're losing sight of him, is to move without the ball and cut. And but KD can do a lot of different things, and the defense has to know where he's at, and they have to honor him, and he can create for others.
Hey, Coach, kind of talking about Severe Wheeler as a leader, and then last week you kind of talked about the team having, faith and believing that they can win. So what are some specific things that he brings to the table as a leader, maybe does them in practice or in team meetings, that helps set the team up like, hey, we can win? And what are some of those things that
I think he's got a good personality. I think he's got a joy for the game. They all like him. He's a happy person. He's serious-minded, but he's happy. And he's confident. And I think when you have that and you're talking to your teammates, and I think more and more he's getting to the point where he's not afraid to get on his teammates. And I think we have to have guys that are like that. And when you have 3 seniors, it's one thing, but when you have 3 seniors that are brand new to the program, it takes a little bit longer for that. And Severe has done a good job with that, and he needs to continue to. And then I think it should bring more confidence to the other guys to be more demanding of one another. Just like when you add KD Johnson, the competitiveness and the confidence is contagious that he plays with. So I think those are things that Severe brings, that he needs to continue to work really hard to make sure a part of his game every day.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's have Mike Griffith and then Ryan Curley.
Coach, can you talk about Kentucky? I know their overall record looks a bit deceptive. Their conference record's decent. Can you share some thoughts on the Wildcats?
Well, they still have great length. I mean, they're picked to win our league, I believe, or right there with Tennessee. It's a Kentucky team that can score. I think the emergence of Allen has really helped them. He's 15 to 30 from 3 in the league. He's got half their threes. I think Davion Mintz is getting much more comfortable, as is Sarr. Being 5th-year guys inside of that program, or 4-year guys, whatever they are, right now, in the sense of being veterans on that team. Certainly Askew, Boston, Jackson, all the litany of great freshmen that they have can make plays. And the bottom line is you got to keep them off the glass. You can't let them have freedom in transition. They run a lot of really good sets. I think what we'll see more and more is a lot more post up, especially with Keon Brooks being back. He's really bulked up and is playing a lot more inside for them. So they bring a lot of weaponry to the floor. I mean, with the way that they can score, the way they can get to the rim, the way they make free throws. But certainly it's a game in itself when that shot goes up off the board with the way that they rebound, and they've always been like that. And then I think defensively, you've got to really do everything you can do to keep the game moving and spread, because when they can sit back and use their length and protect one another, that's when they're at their best. And we have to make the game move, whether it's full court or certainly in the half court. We cannot just stand and settle. We've got to cut, move without the ball in a big way.
Hey, Coach, you guys are averaging 17.9 turnovers a game right now. I know the team's really fast. Is that something you've kind of accepted as kind of a con of moving fast, or is this something you've been trying to clean up in practice?
No, it has to get better. It's sloppy. There's times it's just sloppy. And so we may not be able to run all the time, right? Like, we need to win the game. So we may not be able to run all the time. And there was a concerted effort to be under more control and to run more actions at Ole Miss the other day, because we've got to make better decisions. And the old John Wooden, be quick, don't hurry, but don't hurry. And you can't play reckless basketball. And certainly I'll accept some from Severe because he's fast and he's moving, but even he's got to get better, with the turnovers. You can never play dare basketball. You can never play, well, you know what, maybe I can get this, maybe I can't. That's not how you play, right? You've got to be efficient, simple. Make the simple pass, make it one dribble earlier, keep the ball alive around the bucket. That's one thing that we're really working hard at right now, is to, because sometimes shots become like turnovers. When you go in and you drive it on a shot blocker like we did against Auburn, those become like turnovers. Those are live ball turnovers that you can't defend. You've got to be smarter than that. And you've got to recognize the defense and recognize that the worst thing can happen is to shoot it quick against a shot blocker, keep the ball alive, make another pass. So that's what we're trying to get better. And then it just becomes maturity and being ready to shoot, and then guys moving without the basketball.
All right, let's have Davis Baker and then Jed May.
Hey, Coach, does the mindset going into this game change at all? Obviously, Kentucky normally is top 2 in the conference this year. They've struggled so far. I just want to know, is the mindset any different this year?
Well, I wouldn't think so. And I don't think we're playing their record. I think we're playing Kentucky. And I think the fact they won 3 in a row right out of the gate, we're preparing for a team, not what their record is. And because we know what they're fully capable of. And they had the number 1 or 2 recruiting class in the country. They've got, they got Sauer Toppin eligible late in the year. I mean, they're a good team, and he's an outstanding coach. So we're getting ready for that group, and not where they sit or not what they've done record wise. It's where they're at now. That's what we're preparing for.
Hey, Coach, after the game on Saturday, Ty said that the team had been, I guess, trying to get back to having fun over the past few days. Just one, have you seen that from your guys over the past week or so? And 2, I guess, how important can that be when you've got a team that's going through a little bit of a rough patch?
Well, fun is when you're connected to one another on the court. All right, when you're not getting back in transition or you're not talking, that's not fun for anybody. Right. So when you are locked in and when you do feel that energy from one another, it develops a synergy. And then I think that's where the fun is. But yeah, absolutely. I think it's, our team needs to understand at the end of the day, at the top of the umbrella, okay, for this team. And maybe it was different last year when you got Anthony Edwards, but this is the way it is this year. This has got to be a balanced team. The moment that somebody comes in and thinks that they have to carry the load or they have to do this or they have to do that, that's when we're not very good. We're not built that way. Okay. That's not the way it worked out this spring and summer when COVID came and the pandemic came. And so we didn't get as big as we would have liked. Okay. Well, with that being said, now we've got to be harder to guard. If we're not as big, we've got to be able to space the floor. We've got to be able to make shots. We've got to be able to move without the ball. We've got to have balance. And I thought the other day, I don't know if we had 5 guys in double figures or 4, whatever it was. I thought that was much more like it. And when the ball is moving that way, and that's what you have to work on every day. These kids are here every day. They really, it's not as hard as it can look when you move the ball, when you move without the ball, when you are ready to shoot, when you're creating things from your defense, when you'll get on the glass, we're going to play fine and we're going to have fun. But when the ball stops, or you get in your mind that you've got to do something that's not realistic, and every team goes through it, but that's when we're not as good. And we don't have that room, we don't have that margin for error this year because we don't have a guy like an Anthony Edwards or even a Nick Claxton from the year before that can bail you out with so many different things. So that's why the balance of our team is so important. And that's why we've got to continue to get better shooting the ball, and we've got to continue to cut our turnovers down.
All right, and let's finish up with Palmer Tomes and then Olivia Ray.
Yeah, Coach, how important was it to pick up that first SEC win over the weekend and get that monkey off your back and get some momentum rolling?
Yeah, it was real important. It was very important to get a win. We've worked hard and we've earned it, and we really needed to win, and we did. So it was great.
Coach, hi, I'm Olivia Ray. I'm from Indianapolis and actually went to school when you were coaching at IU there. I have a really off-the-wall question. It's about one of your former video guys, Ty Rogers, who you poached from the baseball team is what I understand.
You're getting photobombed by that young lady in the back there. She's trying to look over your shoulder.
She's Butler grad, so she's familiar with you too.
Keep her back there then. Keep her back there.
Yeah. I wanted to get your take on how you were able to spot his talent as he was working for the baseball team, because he credits you for his big break. I don't know if you followed along, but he's been really successful, especially in the last few years.
Well, he went to work for my brother-in-law at Michigan too, as you know. So it really became from Tracy Smith and Ty Neal that were the baseball coaches at Indiana at the time. And we had a position, and they swore by him, and he came in and he did an excellent job. He's creative. He's innovative. He's very determined. He's very driven. He's got very good tunnel vision and a good way of achieving what he wants to achieve. He's very, very focused on that. I say tunnel vision with respect, because he gets very, very locked in to what he wants to do, and he's a perfectionist. And so I'm not surprised that he's doing well. I'm not surprised that he's having a great career, and he's very, very talented.
So you're able to pick up on recruits and see something special in basketball guys, but how were you able to just see that in him and take a chance on him?
Well, I didn't. I took it on the recommendation of two guys that I had a lot of respect for, and I saw his work, and I thought that was good. But I think in the year that he was with us, he really showed great creativity and innovativeness, and I never had any trouble recommending him, after he left, and because he really is talented, and when you've got a situation that's brand new like we had at Indiana with that type of creative services position, you can really have some freedom, and he did a good job with that, and he manifested it very well, and he helped get our situation going there. And I think when we started that Twitter account there, obviously we started from scratch. I think, now it's well over 1 million there. And I think we probably had it at, I don't know, 800, 900,000. I don't know, whatever it was. I mean, it really grew. And I thought he was a good part of that.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
You're very welcome. Good luck. Good luck. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you.